Hi 8th graders. Today, before you take your assessment, I thought I would just go over a few practice problems with you. So we're going to find one thing for each of these. Starting with this table, we are going to look for the rate. Remember that the rate is the cost per hot dog. So there's information on the poster in the classroom about this, but let's do this practice problem. To find rate, I first need to identify points that I have both the number of hot dogs and the amount of money for. Boom, boom, like 311 and 617. Okay, from here I need to find the change in the amount of money for the amount of and the change in the amount of hot dogs, right? So how much more money is 17 than 11? Well, that's $6 more. And that's for how many hot dogs? From 3 hot dogs to 6 hot dogs is 3 more hot dogs, right? So then to find my rate, I go, hey, well, I made $6 for 3 hot dogs. If I make $6 for 3 hot dogs, I divide, remember? And that tells me 6 divided by 3, $6 for 3 hot dogs. That must be $2 per hot dog. This is my rate. Okay, so my rate is 2. Okay? To find starting value, again, the starting value is the amount of money you have before you sell any hot dogs. Okay, so that would be this value right here. Here, my rate is given to me. The rate is $4 per hot dog. So if I know it's $4 per hot dog, I just need to pick another point. I could pick this one, or this one. Let's pick 2. And I like to draw an arrow down so I remember what I picked. And I'm going to say, okay, well, I sell 2 hot dogs at my rate, which is $4 per hot dog. 2 hot dogs times $4 per hot dog is $8, right? I'm expecting that the amount of money I've made from 2 hot dogs is $8. But the amount on my table is different. It's $10. So if I know I made $8 from 2 hot dogs, but I actually have $10 in the bank, that means I must have started with $10 minus $8, whatever that is, which is $2. So I started, my initial value was $2. So again, what I did is I picked a point. I could have picked 6, and I multiply it by 4. 6 times 4 is 24. My expected value is 24. My actual value is 26. That leaves left over of 2, which is what must be my initial value. I started with $2, and then I'm making $4 per hot dog. Okay. Then on this one, I'm looking for the rule. So for my rule, I need both my rate and my initial value. So to find my rule, I need my rate, which I don't have here, so we'll have to calculate it really quick. Again, I can pick any points that I have both values for, which I have all 3 for here. So I'm going to just pick my first 2. The difference between $2 and $5 is $3 for a difference of 0 to 1, which is just 1 hot dog. So that would be, this would be my rate that I'm calculating here. It's going to be $3 for 1 hot dog, which is just $3 per hot dog. Okay, and my initial value is given to me. When I've sold 0 hot dogs, I have $2. So my rule, I always start with the number of hot dogs, right? For any number of hot dogs, how can I figure out how much money I would have? I'm going to take my number of hot dogs, and I multiply it by my rate, which is 3, and then I add what I already had in the bank, plus 2, number of hot dogs times 3, plus 2, and that equals my total amount of money. Okay. The last thing on here is graphing. I'm not going to do an example of graphing, but I just want to remind you when you graph, you need to take your label from the table and put it on your graph, as well as choose an appropriate number to count by so that all your data can be represented in your graph.